Hey there, Spencer Science people. As you can tell, I am not in class today. And in fact, you guys don't have to put up with me for this entire week. I am currently on a very old lava field out on the island of Hawaii. In fact, if I go just this way, nice little ocean there. But I am at my daughter's graduation. She is graduating from college. I am very proud of her, and we have to. We're going to be there for that. So you, like I mentioned before, you don't have to put up with me this week. But there are things that absolutely have to get done. So here's what's going on. Each day you're going to have a little video of me. All right, so you're going to have a little video of me explaining what to do. All your assignments are going to be in Schoology. And what we'll have you do is, instead of it being on paper, I'm going to have you submit those into Schoology. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What I need to do first is each day video of me. It's going to be in a what is it, like a discussion kind of thing. All you have to do first is watch the video, and then when I explain what it is we're doing, when you're done watching the video, just say, "Hey, Mr. Spencer, I saw it," and that way I know that you're paying attention. And then do the assignment, submit it in Schoology, and then you'll get all your points for that day. All right? But big idea is we're going to start talking about energy. And when I get back, we'll go back into momentum and all that stuff. But I just want to leave you with this. We live on a pretty amazing planet. All right, see you guys soon.
All right, gang, enough of me rambling. Here's what you're gonna do today. Go into Schoology and find, so we're gonna go to our energy. And what I want you to do is open up, you've already done this, okay? Open up this Investigate Types of Energy Pictures version 2. So when we open that up, okay, it kind of goes over some things. All this stuff down here, those are all resources that you may want to use. They may be helpful for you, but the most important thing that I want you to do is open up this attachment here. We're going to put that into Notability, like always, and here's what's going to happen. We're introducing energy, and specifically we're going to introduce different types of energy storage. And what I want you to do is, if you read along with me, we're gonna focus on this whole idea of energy, because energy is a word, we use it a lot, but if I ever ask somebody to define what's energy, they would really have a hard time doing it. So what I'm going to have you do in this assignment is we're going to use your good old friend Google and those other resources that were over here. But I'm going to have you use those, and I want you just to Google the scientific definition of energy. Once you're done with that, I also want you to go and use Google to look at some specific types of what's called energy storage. But I want you to use this search phrase. So in science, why is blank considered a storage form of energy? And there should probably be a question mark there. But it's totally okay to use Google for this. Once you have that definition, I want you to research these different types of energy storage using those websites that I had over here. And then this is, give me some examples. Okay, so what's some examples of these different kinds of energy storage? And then the fun part, all right? This is where you need to take all of that information you have in your brain about these different forms of energy. I want you to go out and I want you to take a picture. Now, you have to be in that picture, all right? And in that picture, you're going to take an example of that form of energy along with a description. I'll show you something there in a little bit. All right. And then you're going to submit your work in Schoology and you'll be all set. Now, I'll let you read this part. This is what I'm going to be looking for. But here's an example. Okay. So example of the type of energy. So nuclear energy. So when I Googled it, I said, hey, Google, in science, why is nuclear energy considered a storage form of energy? There's probably a better way to do that, but we're okay. This is what the nice people at Google told me. They said nuclear energy is considered a form of energy storage because, and they're even using full sentences here, because massive amounts of energy are bound within the nucleus of an atom, held together by strong nuclear forces. This energy is stored inside fuel, such as uranium, until released through fission, acting as a highly concentrated, long-term, and dense source of potential power. All right, so then I would go over and I'd use some of these things right here, and I'd try to figure out what would be some examples of nuclear energy. So, for example, the sun and other stars, they run on what's called nuclear fusion, where you have nuclei fusing together to form larger nuclei. On Earth, we use another kind of nuclear reaction. It's not fusion, it's fission, which means they're breaking apart. And then you also have another kind of nuclear energy, which is called radioactive decay. Now, I'm so proud of this. Okay, so I went out and I took a picture and a description of nuclear energy. See, that's my bald head right there. You see it shining right there? And there I'm pointing at the sun because the sun is powered by nuclear fusion. And then I have a nice little description right there. And that's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to go in here. You're going to need to describe energy according to Google, then put it in your own words. And then you go on and do all these other ones like kinetic energy, gravitational potential energy, so on and so forth. Anyways, hope that makes sense. Just email me if you have any questions. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.